What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we are going to take a look at Threezero Cobra Commander, but this is the Supreme Cobra Commander. It's a BBTS exclusive from Threezero, and you can pre-order it. No, it's actually available now at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put the link down below. So let's unbox this thing right here. I'm a huge fan of G.I. Joe. This is the toy that I remembered growing up, owning a lot of. Like, I have a lot of G.I. Joes, but none of them were known Joes. Because we would normally shop, and this was all the way back home in the motherland, where we would get the clearance G.I. Joes in, man, I forgot the name of the store. It's been a while. But yeah, I would never ever own, the big guns, meaning Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow. So I would always get the clearance ones who we don't know who they are. We know they're G.I. Joes, we got the card and everything, but I have no idea who they are. So now, growing up now, and I have a bunch of them. And back then I never really, I wanted to have a Cobra, but I understand it was expensive, and they couldn't afford it at the time. So I got what I could. But now, and being in this position now where I guess this all stems from that. So now I still wanted to have this, representation of G.I. Joes, but in a bigger format, because maybe I'm just bigger now as well, compared to when I was young. Maybe those 6-inch Joes, I'm double that size, so it makes sense that I got the 12-inch G.I. Joes now. Now, this is not the standard look for Cobra Commander. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this is like a creative liberty by Hasbro. Let me know in the comments. It's G.I. Joe is a big part of my life, but obviously I stopped following it. I don't even know if we have cartoons of G.I. Joe in the Philippines back then. I think we did, but it was like always behind. Kind of like wrestling, back then when I was watching, WWE, for example, Royal Rumble, which normally happens at around January. We'll get it at around July, but there was no internet back then, so I don't know the results. So it's still maybe not even July, maybe even later than that. So, but it's still kind of like surprising to me before it airs out on TV. Maybe it's even a year later. Who knows, man? But yeah, let's take so this guy pretty much has the same amount of accessories as the normal Cobra. It just does have a different look. Now you can see his gloves right here. It's a bit shiny for my taste. It looks more plasticky, but keep in mind this is Threezero, and they are only this particular one is $160 for a 1/6 scale figure. This scepter right here looks pretty good. I got this. There is that a gem in the Cobra's mouth or something that you can insert in there? Let me know in the comments. Again, I don't own any besides this and Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, which you know what? I should get Firefly. I should get Roadblock as well. Just to have I'm waiting for those two. Roadblock, I believe, is on sale at Big Bad, and Firefly is not. But we'll see down the line. There's Destro as well. There's the Pimp Destro out there. Look at this. He got his knife, which has like an emerald on it, and then he has this cape, which has this Cobra insignia on both shoulder pads. But these strips are the one who has magnets on them, and that circle thing right there. It gets attached to his back via magnet as well. So this would just snap on. It's not a perfect fit, but again, for $160, I'm okay with it. The tailoring for this, for the most part, is good. I'm not a big fan of how shiny the plastic looks. Again, low price, low expectations. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm just pointing it out. It does give you that plasticky look, but it doesn't ruin the experience for me. I like the overall colorway for this. I'm treating it like a Jordan shoe now. It feels more realistic of somebody who's a ruler with something that he would wear compared to the Best Buy suit that he does have. But I would love to have that as well. As a matter of fact, if I ever get a chance, because that's sold out now, If it ever goes back, I wish that he would have this cloth mask instead of this. You know, like the traditional Cobra look. That would have been a nice combo as well. For Destro, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted. It does have that exclusive tag on it for Big Bad, like the Pimp Destro. Maybe I'll get that and then just, you know, snipe the regular Destro. See, that is too loud. But, you know, it does have that exclusive. So I kind of like, for 160, why not, you know? We'll see. We'll see down the line. But, yeah, man, G.I. Joe is not... Honestly, it's Threezero figures. I love the IPs that they offer. I love Walking Dead, Rambo, Stranger Things, obviously G.I. Joe, a lot of things. They did Walter White. I have them as well. It's just that after getting them, their figures are not that exciting. That one I can tell you. It feels like they got Game of Thrones. You get them as a, you know, something that would represent your shelf, but because they are cheap, I always at least try to get them and then never touch them again. That's just my, I guess, overall experience for myself when it comes to Threezero. They're not like Hot Toys where you get them, you take a picture, you repost them and all that stuff, and then you still marvel every now and then you come back to them, you know, and maybe post them again, have them interact with other figures and all that stuff, you know, take pictures. Here it feels like it's more of a collection base where you buy as many as you could because they're cheap, line them up, and probably never touch them ever again, and then eventually sell them. Even though I haven't really sold any Threezero yet, I don't know, because the price doesn't really hold up for Threezero. So, articulation for this guy, it is pretty good. You know, it's like a regular figure. That elbow, you know, bend is pretty nice. I'm glad they did not use a seamless body inside of that, because they tend to do that, even though they don't need to. This one, the helmet, of course, goes in the way of looking up left and right. It's pretty good. Moving the arms in a T-pose is, you know, pretty well articulated as well. No hindrance when it comes to... I gotta give it to them within their tailoring. It doesn't really... This one kind of sucks. It's rubber. Keeps on falling off. But the arms, at least, you know, the gap is pretty nice. The printed material in his chest doesn't go in the way, but the belt kind of does. I don't think you would need him to do any drastic crunch up and down anyway, so that is good enough there. Moving his arm sideward, the legs, you know, there's bicep swivel. Again, there's rotation on his wrist. You can kick the leg up pretty high, but you know the pants are gonna give in. Here, this material right here is rubber, so just keep an eye on that. I haven't had any issues whatsoever with Threezero, and I've had old Threezeros, I can tell you that. Even the rubber arms of my Daryl Dixon has been holding on for quite some time now. We'll put this guy in Faces of Poses here. It is a fun figure, you know, like I don't know, there's something about figures that are a little bit cheaper that gives you a little bit more freedom to post them around, because you deep inside you feel like, hey, I can mess this up and it's okay, I only paid 160, you know, like that level of freedom. Plus, you know, he is pretty articulated as well, so there's something about the price of the figure that is appealing to me. When it's cheap, nicely done, the quality is pretty good, the aesthetics is pretty good as well, you know, I like it. You know, this is one of those things, again, in my collection. It's Threezero. There's nothing really would stand out. Nothing would be like, whoa, you know, with you. But it's good enough. Like, the cape is wired. I forgot to mention that earlier. Not completely wired, the two sides. So you could do some, you know, just creative, dynamic poses, perhaps, if you are inclined to do so with his cape. Double-sided as well. You see the red velvet, you know, in the back. the overall looks good. I don't know where the Supreme Cobra Commander came from. Apparently, it's just, I don't know even if they're part of comic books or whatever. But this pose right here, I like it. You know, like in person, this, I guess, trying to post the cape looks better than it translated in the camera. I don't know what happened, but it does look better in person. But yeah, this is a bit of a dramatic in the rain. I don't know why I did this, but you know, it looked cool initially. Now looking at it, it feels like he's just emotional. He's crying inside the helmet. You just can't see it. That's why he's in the rain, so you can't see him cry. We forgot that he's wearing a mask, but yeah, here he is with my two other G.I. Joe figures, which again, nothing stands out. They look like toys, and they should look like toys because they are priced like toys. Especially the Snake Eyes right now is $83 in Big Bad. There is a Storm Shadow, the camo one, I think it's for $120, and this guy's still $144. If you were a 80s baby like me, and you want to reminisce, you know, your childhood with this, it's not a bad price to pay. I can tell you that right now. Final thoughts on this guy. You know, like I mentioned earlier, if you are an 80s baby, $160, why not, right? Like, or if you're inclined to do so, get the normal version if you want to. I don't know. There's something they said this, and it does look a little bit more grounded. This look, you know, but you don't have to. You know, it's also the Pimp Destro is available, you know, as an exclusive version. But if you haven't started, now would be a good time to do so, because that Snake Eyes is pretty cheap. That Storm Shadow was pretty cheap. Even if only those two are the ones that you want to collect, I don't blame you. You'll be set. But for me, I'm waiting for a good sale, maybe for a Firefly or maybe a Roadblock. Roadblock is like, it's on sale, but it's not that much on sale, if you know what I mean. Like, if it goes down to that $83 category, I might jump on it. But I'll wait. You know, like, so far I got this 3 figures that are, I think, pretty essential. Destro is pretty essential for me as well. But, you know, I'll wait for, well, we'll see. But thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments, are you a G.I. Joe fan? Would you rather collect the smaller ones? Or, you know, just being true to what it is? Or go something bigger, a little bit more premium, like Threezero? Let me know in the comments, because I'm debating between the two as well. But thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.